Most stress is self-talk. Most stress are your thoughts of worry and catastrophe. We all know, like, as soon as you have heart problems, what's the doctor going to tell you? Hey, check your stress. Superiority. It's an enemy to your fitness, because superiority is an enemy to learning. This is the overall killer. Sedentary lifestyle. I know you already know this, so I don't have to belabor it. Sedentary lifestyle. What's the number one difference between those who live longer and those who don't? All the longevity research says one thing. People in the past moved more. People in the past, they moved more. How do you have all these people living so long? Even in the 1800s, they moved more. Even though they had less access to local care, they still lived. Why? They moved. And you would not think that we have to belabor this so much, but the issue is today we have an epidemic of obesity. We have an epidemic of natural lifestyle cause of diabetes. We have a tremendous problem with heart disease tied to poor state of health. And it's time that we face it dead on and go like, okay, this is the most common enemy. I'm not going to prioritize all of these, but this is the one we know across everything I've talked about: mental, emotional, physical, yes, spiritual, yes, social. These all overlap. When you're not moving, you're more irritable with the people around you. It hurts your social relationships. Couples that work out together have higher life satisfaction together. Or at least couples who work out. Let's just take the basics. Okay, I know you already know this. I'll go fast through some of these and give you some ideas on some of these. Okay, sleep. We know that one. Many of you, if you haven't done it before, do the 3-2-1 sleep routine tonight. Add some magnesium supplementation, some glycine supplementation, and watch yourself sleep like a champ. Okay? 3-2-1 sleep. 3 hours before bed. Don't eat. Stop snacking going into your sleep period. Don't. Just stop. You do not need to eat 3 hours before bed. Just stop. I wake up hungry. It's not because you ate during that window. It's because what you ate was not satiating. That's the difference. We'll come back to that one. No more, I don't know why I can't sleep. You know exactly why you can't sleep. 3-2-1. Sit. 3-2-1. Then you already know all the other basics. Drop the room temperature down to 68 or below. Make sure you and your spouse understand each other's sleep routines and preferences. Keep the animals, I'm sorry. Cats and dogs don't belong in the bed. I know you like them, but they're not good for your sleep. Sorry, I know you hate me already. I'm just letting you know the science. They wrestle and they move and they take you out of REM sleep in their little movements. I know you like that the cat jumps up and curls and licks your face and whatever. I'm just letting you know, bad for you. That's all I'm telling you. Good for cat, bad for you. Okay, number 3. I'm having fun. I hope you're having fun. Okay, number 3. This is really important. I want you to write the word down because it sounds funny. Satiation. The common enemy here is people haven't taught themselves to be satiated. And I'm going to take this one from multiple angles, so bear with me here. But what do I mean by satiation? Well, satiation is this idea. Let's talk about diet and nutrition first. Okay? Many people aren't satiated 3 hours before bed, so they snack going to bed, throwing off their metabolism for the night. Wakes them up. They don't understand they're waking up because of the snacking. And we have to teach ourselves to be satiated. And when we lack satiation, then we're in trouble. So, for example, you all know this in your nutrition, right? You got to make sure you get your macros. You have to have a proper allocation of protein, fats, and carbohydrates throughout the day so you feel satiated, you feel full, right? Think about our modern big breakthroughs in, biomed. It's like, oh, Ozempic. Wow, that's amazing. What's it do? It teaches people, it makes people feel full. So it changes how you eat. It just makes people feel more full. Well, you can teach yourself to feel more full. You can have the proper allocation of protein and fats and carbohydrates and an eating schedule that makes you feel satiated. Now, I know this sounds no fun because I'm telling you to stop eating the whole pie. Number 4. This is important. Some of these I won't belabor too much because I think you get them. Number 4, number 5, I won't spend too much time, but I think it's important. I think we all know sugar is the common enemy, and I think we all know snacking is a common enemy. Now, why am I calling these common enemy? Because these are wiping out your mental strength. Too many people don't recognize that these things, sugar, oh, that's hard to read, sorry about that. Sugar and snacking are not supporting you. Now, I know when people say, well, no, snacking is fine. You're supposed to eat 4 or 5 times a day. I studied that. Brendon, we got to kick in our metabolism. Eat more small snacks throughout the day. You'll burn more fat. And there's all these beliefs. Now, I believe this is the difference of actually working with humans versus knowing philosophy or even science. In North America, where I work, primarily when I work with people, we have an overweight epidemic. When there's this idea, and it's true, that if you eat more often, you can change or boost metabolism. That is actually true for most people. The issue is you don't give an addict more cocaine more often. When you have 70% of a population who have issues already with overeating, you don't tell them to eat more often. I know it's kind of hard to understand that, but that's what we did for a long period of time. We'll just eat more small meals throughout the day. You'll kick up your metabolism. That can be true, but there's this difference between understanding science and compliance. Will people comply with eating small meals 5 times a day? Most of them won't. They'll eat 4 big ones and a little one. They won't comply with the idea of that particular type of diet, right? So I bring that up because when we get into snacking, people have lots of feelings. Now, if you're trying to gain muscle mass, great, snack. Have high protein snacks throughout the day. But as we talk about, there's a common enemy coming up. Most snacks are flooded with sugar. Most people are over-consuming their sugar or carbohydrates, and that's causing the overweight. And so I think it's important. I am sharing this as a personal story to you. I want you to hear this. I cut out snacking. I just said, you know what? Snacking, it doesn't matter if it's a healthy snack. If I'm consuming something throughout the day, I'm more likely to cheat. I'm just going to stop. And I was like, I'm just going to have 3 great meals a day. I'm going to make sure that they're satiating. They have the right levels of protein, fats, and carbohydrates for my fitness goals. I'm going to stick to that. And because snacks are, for me, I'm not compliant. If you look at it, you're like, wait, it's 250 calories and 14 grams of sugar. This is why physically and mentally you shut down a couple hours later. And so it's just important to understand all this. I know you already know this. I want you to have the ideal plan for you. I'm not pushing mine on you in any way. I'm trying to suggest these are something that our society has gotten so out of whack with, including this one. I think this is important. Common enemy. You hear all biohackers talking about this now, how dangerous seed oils are, especially in the North American diet. We're frying everything, especially your snacks. Almost every snack is fried, and it's fried in contaminated seed oils that are terrible. Most seed oils cause major problems in your metabolism and your gut. Major problems. They tend to be, they disrupt your endocrine system. They lower testosterone. They cause greater problems in your gut, which of course there's that gut-brain barrier. And, seed oils are common things. You look at it like, oh, it's sunflower oil or soybean oil or canola oil or peanut oil. When you see those things in the products you're eating, you have to understand those are poisoning your system. More poison, less energy. And so as you understand this, you're like, okay, I got to be wary of these basic things. The reason I took out most snacks is because most snacks are flooded in seed oils. And as soon as I understood, wow, it's funny, after I have a snack, my stomach is upset. Then I understood why my energy was decreasing. Okay, again, please recognize, I know we've got a lot of health experts here, a lot of biohackers. We have so many nutritionists who watch my work. Please recognize I began with, go see a professional on this. I think it's important every adult, as early as possible, go see a nutritionist for what's right for them and their outcomes and goals. Next up, though, this one. Stress. This is a common enemy. Today, most people feel like they're victim to stress. And I want to share this as your personal development coach. You're not victim to stress. Stress most often is self-manufactured. At some point, you decide to stop manufacturing it. Do we have environmental stress? Do we have relational stress? Do we have physical stress? Is some stress that we experience externally caused? Absolutely. But notice what I said. Most stress. Most stress is happening where? Is up here. Most stress is self-talk. Most stress are your thoughts of worry and catastrophe. We all know, like, as soon as you have heart problems, what's the doctor going to tell you? Hey, check your stress. Check your stress, because your stress ties to blood pressure. Okay, let's get aware of how your stress is whacking out your thyroid. Let's check how your stress is whacking out your digestion. Let's check how your stress is ruining your sleep. Let's check out how your stress makes you a jerk to your spouse. That's why dealing with stress is so fundamental. And here's the funny thing. Move more, decrease stress. Sleep more, decrease stress. Be more satiated, decrease hangriness. Less sugar, snacking, and seed oils stressing the biological system. The more the emotional and mental system is online. Okay, what else? Superiority. It's an enemy to your fitness. Because superiority is an enemy to learning. Many people, and you might not like the word superiority, so let me give you another one, especially in the category of fitness. You might not say superiority, but I bet you understand stubbornness. Okay. We're using a very similar terminology now. Many people are very stubborn about changing their diet. No, they're self-righteous. They think they know better. They think they need to prove something. Their ego is in the game. Now, they won't call it superiority, but spiritually, that's what's going on. Their ego is saying, I'm just this way. That's who I am. I don't change. You're wrong. I'm not open to learning. That stubbornness, that superiority. I know if this was a more grace-filled situation, I would say, oh, they must just feel guilt or shame and they're fearful of looking stupid, so they don't want to try something new. I'm like, yeah, no. I actually am in charge of human behavior change with people. And when you're in charge, and it's your job, and you tease it out, you call it for what it is. Most people have a high level of stubbornness and superiority. They're self-righteous, and their ego is so high when it comes to this topic. Okay? I'm not making broad proclamations about, that people have huge ego. But many people, when it comes to their mental, emotional, physical, spiritual, and social fitness, their capability level, their readiness level, their flexibility level, their energy level, their adaptability levels, like we've been talking about, oh, do they get defensive? It's really unfortunate, and it's really something that I think we dance around too lightly in our society. I think we should, hey, listen, I'm noticing you are not open to this conversation, and yet you can acknowledge you've got some patterns of behavior that are hurting your energy. Are you okay with not feeling more energy? Are you okay not being here? Or what's going on? Let's have the conversation. But, oh, that's so offensive today to have that conversation. I think it's responsible. I think it's responsible. When you see someone doing something that's hurting themselves, to address it. You don't have to tell them what to do, but to address it, to see if they're okay, ask their goals, I think it's important. Okay. Number 9. This is so good. Number 9. I think I'm going to write this. This means no supplementation. No supplementation. I'm shocked on how many people have never learned what supplements are necessary for them. Again, coming back to a nutritionist. But I think it's so important that you know what supplements make you your best. What supplements make you awesome? What supplements make you feel incredible? What are they? You should know that. What supplements do you do that help you with focus and energy? What supplements do you take that help fill in the gap in your nutritional habits? What supplementation helps you deal with stress? What supplementation helps you sleep better? All of those would be considered a baseline, just a baseline. And if you don't think about it or study it or work with a nutritionist or biohack for it, then I really start worrying for people because they don't understand that. What if that gave you just 10% more energy or edge throughout the week? Do you know you're competing with people who understand supplementation and they're getting 10 to 20% more productivity on top of you every week? And you think that they're like supermen and superwomen? I'm like, they're just supplemented better than you. That's it. And we think it's some unfair, oh, she's a genetic amazing. I'm like, no, she probably had a little more protein than you, and she's probably on a nootropic. Like, you didn't see, she just had 300 milligrams of cordyceps before that meeting. So she's in a different place than you are. That's all. So I think this is important. People always ask me about mine, and I always say, it's not about mine, it's about yours. What's your definition? What are your objectives? What are your obstacles? What are your routines? How are you socializing? Okay, I'll say the last thing, downward social energy. Downward social energy. I'll move over here so you can see that. Downward social energy. What's happening is a lot of people are in a community where it's a downward energy. The people around them are downers. The people around them aren't uplifting. The people around them are negative. The people around them are pessimistic. The people around them don't have that high level of energy that we all need or want to feel ultra happy, ultra successful, ultra energized. Hang out with more healthy people. Seek out more healthy people. Go with people who are striving. Go to the people with church who are good attitude, who are of good cheer. Being around awesome social energy, I want to let you know, it's the secret of my success. When I think about a career this long, reaching this many people, doing this many trainings, it's like, no way would I have had the energy to do that if there wasn't uplifting spirits around me. I think it's really important. Again, since we're talking about fitness, I think it's important that you do consider seeing a nutritionist or a health advisor who can help you specifically in the stuff you might not already think about, which is often supplementation. Again, I'm not selling anything here. I think it's very important that people realize there's gaps, and we don't account for the gaps. You don't feel as good. You can do all this stuff, but if you're super low on a basic vitamin or mineral, then it's like, it's not shocking that you don't feel good. You know, a lot of people do all the things right, but they have thyroid dysfunction and they need some supplementation, right? There's simple things like this. So I think it's important to consider all this.